Oh, see, I was so busy looking at Tom's comment that you have more intro. Be right back. Hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How is everyone tonight? I'm super excited to let you guys know that Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales is live. We're going to have some of the guys on here. We're going to talk about what they've done with it. We're going to talk about how this is different from prior Cthulhu Invades. So this is going to be really exciting. So I'm really excited for you guys all to be here. I need to do a couple of things here in the background. Nothing crazy, but I'm going to be like 2 more seconds. I see some people making some comments here. We've got Ichthia saying, what's up, Total Excellent? How are you, good sir? We have Nemesis. What's up, Queef? I managed to stay up long enough to say hello. I think I'm being insulted there. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I am. And then we had Tom a little while earlier say, give me some stars. And yeah, you need to give me some stars. I don't know what they do. I think there's money involved somewhere. I don't really know how it works, but I'm ready for it. So let's do it. I want everybody to get everything needs. So let me send out this message right now. I don't know what's going on here. Why you're not sending out? I can customize it. Let me get some people on here. First up. Oh, wait, hold on. It's Stan. Oh, hey, Stan. No, it's a term. Oh, Quiff is a terminal demon. Not the way I remember it in high school. Not the way I remember it. But if you say so, good sir, if you say so. So first up, my new friend. So this friend, I've known him for a few months, and I got him in the book because there was a slot. So let me get up my new friend here, Brian Wolf. How are you, brother? How are you?
I'm great. I'm up late for me. So great.
This is late for you?
I got young kids, so I sleep as soon as they drop, I drop. Because
they drop, I drop. So yeah. I appreciate you taking the extra time and staying up for us. We appreciate it. I think it'll be worth it. So, and you have a campaign. We're going to talk about your campaign a little bit tonight. You want to spoil it a little bit? Tell us what it is.
It is a Super Sentai noir mashup. It is a lot of fun. It's kind of like super poppy with some action, excellent character beats. It's all my stories are character driven. So when you take a look at it, you'll know exactly what it is. The vibes are there.
Nice. All right, let's get somebody else in here. My favorite Spawn creator, Tom, is here. How are you, Tom?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I stopped Spawn right after you were done.
You know what? So did I. So it's cool.
So did you.
I mean,
how are you, good sir?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing all right. I'm excited to be a part of this collection. Antho. Yeah. It's awesome, man. Thanks for having me.
I actually realized that I had to have a conversation with my wife about your story because it has nudity. We normally don't approve nudity, but I got pages with nudity. I'm not against nudity per se. We just have never done it before in Cthulhu, so we'll see what happens.
What's the definition? Because I was very explicit with my artists, like, we want this, but not this. Don't go,
Right. There's no penetration. That's where I think we'll all be good. It's like a PG-13, right? Like, oh my God, yes. Oh my God, it's gone. Oh, it was only one panel. Why are you doing that to me, Tom?
We'll fix it in post.
So, What are you working on right now? Just before I get, I'm going to ask everybody what they're working on before we get going on this whole thing.
Yeah, I've got a Kickstarter coming up. I think either tonight or tomorrow. I should probably figure
Okay.
that out. But it's a prose novel. My background is largely in prose fiction, and I've got an urban fantasy #1 in a series coming out tomorrow. That's like if somebody asked you to go hunt down the X-Men, go figure out how you're going to do that. So regular guy versus mutants and whatnot.
Nice. So
Yeah.
he's trying to kill him?
Well, yes, he's assigned
okay.
to go and take him out under the table, off the books, and things don't go quite as planned as you could imagine.
But that was my favorite. X-Men 2 is my favorite of the movies because it's such a basic plot. You have all this universe to use from, and it's just Lady Deathstrike, Stryker, and Nightcrawler. Like that's all you get. And then you got the great scene where Magneto whispers in the kid, just kill all humans. That's fine. Like, they're all teaming up. Everything's all good. And then Professor Magneto's like, "Oh, you forgot I was Magneto. I'm so sorry."
Yeah, happened.
I got my boy Nandor. Nandor's always working on stuff. What do you got? What's going on with you?
Oh man, yeah. Thanks for having me, Travis. This is really exciting. I'm super happy to be here, and man, there's a lot going on. I'm rolling around in all these different projects, but we got Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales, which is really exciting, and then I'm also currently waiting for the Fabled Offering to get to me. My printer just let me know that they shipped it out, and so I should get it in a couple weeks. So I'm really excited to fulfill that book. And the artist for that book, Marco Roblin, was the artist for the story in this anthology. So I got to partner up with him again, and so that was really exciting. So I can't wait for people to read that. So that's a sci-fi fantasy adventure one shot. But other than that, I'm in the pre-launch stage of Man-Child issue 3. So we're going to be launching that October 1st, and that's my kind of nostalgic Silver Age superhero action dramedy. So I'm really excited to get to issue 3. We're introducing a lot of new villains for that issue. And then if I didn't have enough on my plate, I'm also going to be doing reprints of Seasons Volumes 1 and 2 as trade paperbacks. I only printed them as hardcovers, and I've sold out. And we were getting ready to launch Volume 3, and I was like, I can't do a Volume 3 if I don't have a catch-up tier. And so I've been kind of running around trying to figure out the best way to re-release the first 2 books. So there's a lot in the pipeline, but I'm really excited. So there's a lot of exciting things
you got
ahead.
my boy Patrick over there on Seasons, so that's
No, he did Lifeline. He did Lifeline with me.
Oh, okay. I thought he was one of the Seasons writers, artists.
Yeah, no. So yeah, Patrick and I worked on. It was my second book that I did. It was an original graphic novel where I worked with 7 different artists from all around the world, and Patrick was one of the bigger ones who did a lot of the book for that particular book. And so I love Patrick. I love what he's doing with you with Grey Knight State Punk. So that's really, really cool to see him thrive. I know he's been doing a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, you should see. We started working on the next issue, and it's going to be a banger.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
All right. And we've got Peter. How are you, Peter?
What's up, party people? Staying dry.
It's just a hurricane, Peter.
It's a small hurricane. It's fine.
Stop. Just stop, Peter. It's just a hurricane. We're in Florida.
Not even here. It's not even really a hurricane.
We don't even acknowledge hurricanes. Like, whatever.
Indeed. Just been raining for 3 days straight.
And the one time a hurricane really did hit, it wasn't that bad. I was at a friend's house, and he had a bunch of meat that if we didn't eat, it was going to go bad. Not so bad at all. Like, it wasn't a bad weekend. We just had a bunch of steaks. It was so good. So, but this is our launch party. We've invited a whole bunch of people. We're going to show you guys where we're at on this campaign. We're going to go over it in more detail in a little bit. But right now, we're at 7,129. We're getting up there as we go, which is great. So it's been really fun. We'll talk about it in little details of what's going on. And Foxhole Comics says hi. Oh wait, that's Nandor. All right, I got you. Oh, you guys having side conversations. Actually, you know what? I realized because I was doing the backer kit thing, we can't see comments from where I got. Oh, of course not. Here, hold on. Let me fix it. All right, so now we're going to see the comments from Facebook, which is where most of my comments come from. Are they going to come here? All right. Victor says hello. And Ichthia says, we barbecue to celebrate the hurricanes of Ever. That's right, exactly. So let's talk about it. So this is our 4th volume of Cthulhu Invades. Now, this one is not like the other ones. So I think Peter's the only one who's coming back. Oh, Tom came back too. Tom did some prose for me because I don't know anything about that stuff. I was like, hey, this thing has too many words, Tom. Can you write this thing for me? And he's like, I don't know what you want. I was like, I want you to write the words, Tom. He wrote the words. Have you got that book yet? You still don't got it yet?
No, I haven't. I think it's in the mail. I know it's in the mail.
From Tom, for those who don't know, or if I didn't say it live, he is an undisclosed location. He cannot give that information. It does have something to do with the Olympics. I think he's writing the Olympics and scripting it. It's getting very controversial, so I'm happy with what you're doing so far.
I like your work with that one guy from Turkey.
Thank you.
Right. American not winning the shooting contest. Very bold choice for you writers, but
you gotta twist it. It's all about the twist, the turn.
I think it'll pay off. But yes, that is my headcanon is Tom is writing the Olympics.
Thank you.
So
that's a lot of work.
I think he's writing categories. I don't think he's writing the whole thing. It's not a team.
Yeah,
scripting the winners. Yeah.
I did hear. I haven't watched any of the Olympics, but I did hear that Europe put all their like stuff together as like a European nation so they can claim more medals, which I think is badass. I think it's very offensive, but so they all like conglomerated. So all they have a bunch of like European conglomerates, so they get more medals than anybody else because there's a bunch of countries fighting for it. That seems fair.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got? It was Hurricane Irma. So many Florida's so disappointed after squirting all that gas and toilet paper. No, that was the worst thing about COVID is the toilet paper. Like toilet paper was a huge problem in Florida. But back to Cthulhu because that's what we're here for.
Yes.
So we've done a whole bunch of volumes. They're all here. What do we got here? No, that is Last Ronin. We did one. That's Neverland. We did Wonderland. That's over. No, that's Neverland. What do we got here? We've done other ones. They're here.
Never Wonderland.
Never Wonderland. Actually, I don't want that to fall. So just trust me. We've done more. Is there one over here? Oh, there's an Oz. There's an Oz.
This is only number 4?
This is only number 4. This is volume 4. So but this one's very special. I'm really happy that you guys are part of it because the difference between this, the first one all had one continuity. There is a story that goes through all of them. So if you pick up Neverland or Oz or Wonderland, there is a through story that goes through all of them. In fact, there's even in number 1, Toto decides to join Cthulhu, and that continues through the campaign. That'll happen. We're making a finale for that. That's going to come in the future. But our next arc is 3 volumes of Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales. And this is the very first volume. So we've got some of the creators here, and they took on fairy tales, and they kind of retold or twisted these horror fairy tales. So check on the campaign real quick. Again, I'm going to share the link, too, for the campaign. Oh, we've got some more money since last time we've talked. It's good. I'm going to share the link so people can check it out while we're talking. But let's go around the room and talk about what characters you had and did stuff. So we're going to start. We'll start at the bottom and go our way up. So Nandor, you got one of the big characters. So tell us about it. Who'd you get?
Yeah. So I'm writing Little Red Riding Hood, or the story is called The Little Red Priestess, and this was honestly, the character I wanted, to write. I have a fondness for the story. Everyone knows this character. Everyone, is familiar with the iconic Red Hood, and when I was trying to think of what I could do with it, what kind of spin I could roll with it. I reread The Call of Cthulhu, and I was reading, the original fairy tale, and I was trying to just find all the connective tissue, or how I can kind of connect the dots between the two, and take a more kind of raw, horror approach to it, to where, I kind of pitch it as like, if Ari Aster made a Little Red Riding Hood story, if it was an A24 Little Red Riding Hood story. And so that was kind of my anchor for what I wanted to do. And so I wanted to kind of play around with the family dynamics between like the grandmother and the mother in Little Red, and try to come up with a scenario that would mess with the power dynamics between all of them and the big bad wolf, of course. And it was a lot of fun. It was, I've never really kind of taken properties and kind of mashed them up before. So as a writer, it was a really interesting challenge for me to work with and to try to see how I can make it make sense. And so that was a lot of fun. And when the story itself, it's pretty gruesome. It's a pretty brutal story, and by the time you get to the end of it, you're I hope the reader is kind of left breathless with what's transpired. But it's like I said, it's pretty gruesome. And even writing it, I was like, man, I wonder if I'm like pushing the envelope of like what's too rated R, or a hard PG-13 of what's going on with this story. So but it was such a fun experience. And working with Marco, which we had just come off the Fabled Offering, and we wanted to do something before this next project that we're going to be working on. And having this 12-page story, and also such a big story in the anthology, was really fun, because we really got to play around. And he's super proud of his pages, and he was having a blast working on it. So yeah, I'm really excited for people to read it. I think it's going to kind of subvert their expectations, but not in like not in a dissatisfying way, but in a really satisfying way.
Yeah, I definitely think that it was such a great comic, and I know you've been wanting to be in an anthology for a while.
Yeah.
So I was really happy to be your first. I think you have a couple now, right? Didn't other people ask you to be in stuff that you got coming out?
So this is actually my second. It hasn't been released yet, but I worked with Neff, Global Frequency, on something. So
Okay.
and then I did this one, and then I'll be in the This Ink Runs Cold anthology that will be coming out. So I had for so many years, I had kind of intentionally just wanted to work on my own stuff and kind of focus on that, and really kind of have my portfolio out there. And as I was kind of winding down and wrapping up some stories, it finally came to me where I was like, I think I'm ready. Like, I'm ready in my confidence to be able to take on different stories. My confidence as a writer is really boosted. And so and I have things in comics I can give people to be like, this is what I can do. So like, if you don't, if you never heard of me, you don't believe me, this is what I've made, this is my body of work, and you can trust me to deliver on this. So it's been fun. I've been really trying to get into more anthologies and kind of branch out a little bit more, and stretch some more creative muscles that way.
Wow, that's cool. Well, I think it'd be good. I've also done Neff's, and we're working on another one as well. So I've
Sweet.
been there. I've done stuff with Neff.
Yeah.
So Neff's good people. So
He's
Peter,
one of the good ones. Yes.
one of the good ones. Peter, what did you do? Like, you're supposed to be like the editor team, and we haven't edited any of this stuff. So like,
Right,
you're allowed.
no.
You haven't done anything.
So I'll be getting there. Yeah, but no, when you started talking about doing fairy tales, I kind of like went back into the well a bit and started trying to think of some stuff that I remember reading from the Grimm books. I used to have one of those big volumes with a bunch of the different Grimm ones, and I had one that stuck out in my head that kind of had a little bit of everything Grimm and was pretty ripe for giving it that sort of Lovecraftian twist to it, which is it translates out to the 3 snake leaves. It makes it the easiest way to do it. And the other big thing that it got for me was, it, whether you remember it or not, Travis, but I had a really great idea for Neverland, because when you asked for pitches, I gave you 2.
Okay.
And I said there was one that I probably wasn't going to get because it was too important. It was Hook being reanimated. and then I gave you the one that we ultimately took.
Whoever got that must have like pulled some favors.
It's like I said, when I pitched it, I was like, I know this probably won't do it, and I'm pretty sure you're doing it anyway. And sure enough, I was like, but if you wanted to use mine, you didn't, which is good. So this one, because it really does, it features, obviously you can kind of tell from the picture there, it does feature some death and some coming back to life. It allowed me to play around a little bit with Herbert West, which I've been wanting to do since before the last book.
Okay, nice. All right. It's really cool. The other thing to note on your story too, I just showing this little bit of art, which doesn't do it justice. I should probably change out that picture now that we got everything in. But you brought back favorite to the series, Robbie Bragdon. So Robbie did in my opinion, everyone's favorite tale because it's my favorite tale. So therefore, it has to be everyone's.
Good to go.
Let me give a big break here. He did this with Jonathan Hedrick. So and it was so good.
And I fully admit, that's when I was thinking about artists. I started looking through the old books and was just like, okay, is there somebody I really want to pair with? And you're coming right under that one. I mean, obviously I've worked with Jonathan before, and I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, and I just like immediately requested Robbie as a friend, was like, hey, you wanna come work with it, and I had him do inks, and then I brought the other fan favorite, so to speak, my daughter Emily, to do the coloring for it.
All right. Next up. Oh, I'm big. Sorry. I got an email of someone who says they didn't get their campaign. You always get those when these are launched. And literally, she's replying to her getting the campaign. So I'm very confused because she backed into me. So I'm very confused by this whole process. So Tom, who did you get?
I got the Very Ugly Duckling, Hans Christian Andersen, if I'm not mistaken, which was super cool. And I started, I don't remember. It's been so long now, but I was really attracted to that. I like the idea of the transformation, but then the twist on the transformation, and I mean, I love the format of the whole thing because it's very, it allows for that Twilight Zone kind of the twist at the end. That's the kind of stuff that I grew up on, and so it was a lot of fun to go in there. And that story, I think, lent itself to some fun Lovecraftian twists. So yeah, it was a good time.
And dude, it's wild. Like that art, when I got it back, was like, where did this art come from? Because I've seen a lot of your books, and this is so crisp and so different from because of the stuff you write. I know you get artists based on what you write. He's so good. Like he needs to be writing, drawing fantasy like full time.
Yeah, that's Peter Taylor, and I know him from the Comics Launch guys. I think is where we first met.
Okay,
and he, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's also in Nightmare Theater 3D.
Okay,
and he's Peter's fucking amazing. I love what he does. I really want to do some more work with him because he's just one of those guys who can grab a script. He also does a lot of writing, as I recall, and so I think we had a good lexicon going in. We were able to speak the language to each other,
nice.
which is really good. And he took what I gave him and made it so much better. He's really, really cool.
Nice.
That's not nudity, right? Is it? Technically,
no, there is nudity on another page.
Is there?
I didn't put it on the Kickstarter. Yeah,
okay. I don't remember why that happened now.
It again doesn't bother me. It just realized I had a conversation. Here's why it makes it weird. I'll explain why it makes it weird. Somebody else sent me something in the book, and it was too much butt for me. And I was just like, can we bring up the blanket that you have on the butt just a little bit? And then I was going through all the pages, and I was like, oh, Tom had full-on boobs. And I was like, no. So I am a boob guy, but that should not – I shouldn't show my bias.
I'm not – wow.
So
and I remember the conversation, but now I don't remember how it went. I remember having it with Peter. Oh, yeah, okay. There it is.
There it is.
No getting around that. Because I think if I go back into my messages, I'd be like, well, I kind of took some liberties with one of them. Like, all right, well, that's what editors are for. Let's go here, and the editor will pull it back,
artists have done that to me so many times. So I'm in negative. I have an image credit. I'm in Negative Burns, which if you don't know Negative Burns, you should. Nander, do you know Negative Burns? You feel like someone who would know about it, and I'm going to be really upset if you don't. Okay.
Yeah.
So Nandor and I are both big Brian Michael Bendis fans, and if you want to get the early Brian Michael Bendis, you got to go to Negative Burns. That's where his early work from. But not just him, Mike Mignola and Neil Gaiman and some Alan Moore and Brian, like everybody who's anybody wrote for Negative Burns.
Yeah.
So when I wanted to write comics, I was gonna write for Negative Burns, so I did, and I got approved. And the artist, like, it was a zombie story, very sweet, and like it's a crime story. Basically, the story is a criminal's he's locked up and he's trying to find a cure for his son that he made a zombie and he got put into prison. So he's poisoning the food to use everyone when they're in their cell to use them as science experiments to cure his son. So he got in jail on purpose to do that, and he's hoping that his wife can hold off. And the last scene is showing that he gets eaten in the hospital, and he's worried about his wife, and his son has already eaten his wife. But there's boobies and nudity galore. It does not even fit the theme of what I'm doing. I'm like, I don't think we can have this. And I sent it to the artist. He's like, no, you can't have this. But was not in the script, but he was just, you could just tell the artist was bored. He's like, zombies are not enough for me. I just need the full much. So Brian, how many movies do you write?
I'm sorry?
Hold on. Before I go back to you, Nander, do you now respect me more now that you know I was in Negative Burn and that I have?
Yeah, of course. That is.
Right.
Yeah, I think I did know that, but that's I think that's really cool that you were able to be a part of it. What year did that come out? When was that?
2003. So it was the last run through Desperado. So
okay,
even though it came out through Image, like it's an Image title, it's in the Image credits, it actually doesn't have the Image logo, which is super annoying. They cut
that is annoying. Yeah,
they sent it out like they were trying the Skybound, the branding. So Desperado was using the Desperado thing, but in the thing it has Image and all that. But I was like, you mother effers. I don't brag about it because I don't want someone to research. You claim you're an Image, but what did you do? I don't have Spawn on my credit like you, Tom. So I gotta. And even that, I'm sure people argue with you. You're like, you don't look like your name's Tom, not Todd.
Yeah, all the time.
I've read all 300 issues, and you are not.
They're out there.
All right, Brian.
Yes.
First off, how many boobs have you snuck into art? Now we have that.
Well, I believe every character was male in this one.
Okay.
That I drew.
Okay.
And
so maybe if you look closely in the background, who knows?
This just begs the question, though: are you talking individuals or pairs here? This is
the moobs.
Yeah.
So who did you? What did you get to draw?
I got to draw. Chuck Satterley wrote the story based on the Grimm fairy tale "The Owl," which is one I was I did not really know this one. Mm-hmm. I got to read up on it a little bit before I was sent the script, and it's a lot of fun. It's like this whole paranoid escalating thing that happens in a German farmhouse, and then it sort of ends with all of these cosmic horror. That's how it sort of ends. So it was a lot of fun for me to do a 5-page story and to let loose in a couple of moments, and that was nice.
And you made a bold move.
Yes.
Should I spoil your bold move?
Sure.
He made Cthulhu purple. Now, I don't have a problem with that because especially with this book, I made it purple themed. As you guys can see, everything is, or can you see? Let me see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's all purple themed. We're doing the purple theme. So I was okay with that, but why is Cthulhu purple?
When you said the book with the Cthulhu is purple themed, I was like, yeah, okay. I wish I had more thoughts than that, but I was like, okay, sure, it'll look fine.
I mean, Cthulhu is any color you want,
Yeah, and I put purple in there's like cosmic purple in the skies in a lot of the scenes. So I kind of wanted to bring that into Cthulhu a little bit and be like, he's like this. ethereal, cosmic monster. Like maybe he is everything. Maybe he's all of it. So I kind of just played around with that idea.
Nice.
And that's my purple.
Yeah, this is our purple. We're going through our purple phase instead of the green. We're going to go through purple. So,
well, it's like the color out of space, right? Like,
yeah,
that's how I felt. It's like that's a H.P. Lovecraft story I love. So I gotta use that color. I gotta pull it in, and to me, that's kind of a purplish color.
So we are going to be wrapping things up here. We're going to show Brian's campaign. I'm going to go over the campaign a little bit to kind of talk about it. If you guys have any questions, please interrupt me. So we can go over them. That's that. We're gonna talk about the campaign. So as you see, we've got some numbers. It's been rolling. I don't remember where we started, but it's higher than when we started. So
Yeah.
I was going to say 0, but then I realized you meant the start of the show.
Yeah, it did start at 0, but there is a lot of purple. Look at that. Yeah. I didn't even realize that. Like in theory of the book too.
Nice.
How has this start of this particular campaign, compared to the previous Cthulhu campaigns that you've run?
Oh, I haven't looked, so I don't know that answer.
Okay.
I've got to go to like Backer Kit or whatever and looked. It feels good. When you do this for a little bit, you stop stressing out about it. I know that doesn't seem right, but when you have something like this, like I still stress about my smaller campaigns, but my bigger ones,
yeah,
it should be more. I don't stress out about it. I trust that. I mean, look at our list of creators here,
right,
and yourself included. Like, we got Clay Adams, we got Greg Elises, we got the guys, we got Chuck Silty, we got Jack Holder, we got Carl, we got Nandor, we've got Stan Kober from the Reject. We've got all these really high profile people who've done a lot of cool stuff. So, I kind of not stressed about it.
Yeah. Did what was the fact that it was kind of not a I don't want to say like a coherent through line story, did that make it easier for you think, or is it harder to try to keep a continuity with like the previous volumes?
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same thing. I was gonna ask if you had a preference after having done this, because that's a bigger shift than I would have thought.
This is easier for the family and for everybody.
Yeah.
This is easier.
Right.
I'm still going to do those ones, but the reason why I haven't changed, I'll be 100% honest. The next place we're invading in that universe is going to be 100 Acre Woods, Winnie the Pooh. And I think it's going to have to be more than just like the continuity's got to be good, but I also think art has to flow for that one. Winnie the Pooh looks a certain way. I think you can get away with it in the Oz because Oz gets fairy. Wonderland, you could go whatever colors and whatever. And Neverland, you can kind of get away with it too. But I think you need a certain art style for Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
I'd love it to look less like Winnie the Pooh, the Disney cartoon, but more like the A.M. Miller. Is it A.M. Miller? Yeah.
Milne.
Yeah, A.M. Milne. So I'd like more art style like that. So that's the stuff. So it's good and bad. It both has its good and positive. The positive, I think, the editing is going to be cut down because this last one.
It's gonna. I was going to say that it's going to be a lot easier to prove because you're not like worried about. Oh, wait, I read something that I think might have been 3 stories ago that this is going to murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good. And it gives me a chance to really work with people who I don't have a full trust in. And I'm not saying that as a negative. Like, I like to, when I do Cthulhu, when I do big characters, like, let's be honest, I probably wouldn't trust you with a Little Red Riding Hood if I was doing it and needed it in my continuity as much.
Yeah.
Right.
Just
because I was like, I haven't read all your work. I don't know how you flow compared to what I do, so I don't know. But now I can just judge your story. Is it good? And is it the one I want in this book? Because we had like 4 submissions for 4. I think we had 6 submissions for Little Red Riding Hood, and you won.
Nice.
So Brett, Patrick's on the back.
I'm proud of that. Yeah, I am. I am proud of that. That's really cool. I'm happy. I'm happy that it made the cut. Made the cut.
Yeah, and I'll even say people who have bigger credits than you, who have bigger credits. But I don't always. I do judge it on credits a little bit. Like you do have to be.
Yeah.
But I don't. That's not the final weight of everything.
Well, and I thought about that, because I knew that it's one of the longer stories, one of the bigger stories. One, it's a cover character, right? Like
Yeah.
she's on the cover, and it's like going into it, I was like, I'll go for it, right? Like high risk, high reward kind of deal where I was like, well, might as well put my hat in there. So that's really cool. I'm excited that happened.
Yeah. So all right. Let's see. Let's go back to here, man. But yeah, we've got some great people in here, which is really cool, really exciting. So first thing to talk about this campaign for those stuff, we've got 3 cool covers. You haven't even seen the final of the hardcover that is being released later on this week. So that'll be really exciting. So this is cover A. So all cover A's are going to look like this. See the border? It'll be purple on the border with the gold. However, what we're going to do is volume 2 is going to be half Cthulhu and half flowers like this. And then volume 3 will be complete Cthulhu. Which
Is
I
that
think
like a foil inlay kind of thing going on there, or is it
is. That'll be one of our stretch goals. Is if we get to that point, we'll do a kind of a foil inlay. It may not. I'll have to see how the foil looks, but even if it's not foil, it'll be touchable, it'll be raised.
Yeah, like spot gloss or something.
Yeah. So spot gloss. So it'll be one of that. So this is really cool. That's why we have the border. I think it came out really cool. By the way, we have this cover available. The original art, the first time, is available. Like you can actually buy the original art, which is really cool.
Nice.
We've never sold original art for it. And then this cover, we came up with a price, and then he decided to put all 20 stories in here. So now I have to go back and say I'm paying you too little. So we got to figure that out. But I think this cover looks great. A lot of fun.
Yeah, that's not bad.
How do you feel, Nandor, when everybody has the actual red and then you kind of have more of an orange because it fits kind of your theme?
Yeah. It's totally fine. I mean, it's kind of like you can't I think for a cover specifically, you want the reader to know who the character is right away, right? And like with Little Red, it's like, it's there and people will look at that, and red's always an eye-catching color too. So I think it makes total sense.
And orange is in the red family.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then this one, which again not finished, but you'll see here it's going to be really cool. I guess I didn't realize that Red Riding Hood is the main character. I was not meant to be, but she is in all 3 covers. She's only
Yeah, I noticed that, and I was just like, man, this is so cool. Like, I just feel like
this is my book.
Yeah, I was like, man, like, did Travis like the story that much? Like, goodness gracious. But no, I love that cover, and it's very ominous. It's like perfect. Like, it's such a great.
What you're going to see in the middle, you're going to see the slipper, and and she'll be kind of bending over to touch it. So with that big menacing thing, it'll be really good. It'll be really good. So you don't even know. So I've seen it. It looks good. So there's that. There's your story right there. I think that's the only one. And yours was up top, right? You have your nakedness in this one. Yeah, there you go. We got the naked back on that. Full naked back, Tom, there.
Yeah. That's PG-13.
PG-13. And then we've got Cinderella, we've got Snow White, we've got Little Red Riding Hood, we've got Rumpelstiltskin. Oh, that's mine. I didn't talk about mine. So we should probably do that, right? I did Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin is one of my favorite fairy tales, so I was really happy to do it. And what I did that is really, really cool, I have it take place at Kingdom of Massasonik, from Massasonik Castle. So I tie into that universe a little bit. And I use, I can't even remember the name. I'm stumbling on the name right now. Hold on. Give me a second. Actually, I can't. Never mind. I don't want to get myself in trouble. I do remember, and I can't say it. So what is cool about my particular story is there is a character that H.P. Lovecraft created. It is based off the Wendigo. I can't say its name because the name came out after he died and is not public domain. But the story that he's featured in is public domain.
Whoa.
So I did that in my story. So the big monster in my story is that creature who can't be named because of Rumpelstiltskin. And no one's going to get it who is probably not you four people or they say it, or anybody watching. But I think it's kind of cool. So yeah, so that's the story, and that's the big monster, and I think it's really cool. So it has to do with a king who is kingdom is dying, and he needs to pay off some people in the dreamscape, and to do so, he needs to get some gold, and he's running out of gold. So Rumpelstiltskin makes him an offer.
Hey, Travis,
what's up?
I think Brian mentioned the story The Owl, right? Was that Brian?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have not heard of The Owl. I'm curious, how deep did you go to get some of these stories? Like, okay, Red Riding Hood, all right, we all kind of know that one, and some of these are very, very classic for good reason. But then, how much further did you dig to dig up some of these lesser known stories?
That's a great question for Chuck or Travis.
That's me. That's actually me. That's not Brian. I gave it to them. So I gave a list. If you remember, I gave the list of people of the stuff. I wanted things when I was doing this. I wanted things that felt very fairy tale. So owls feel fairy tale. So I that's one of the ones that I was drawn to. So I picked out that. And animals are good when you do these things. It's animals that aren't like the Three Little Pigs are better, right? So you want things that kind of go on both ways. So that was one that I pitched to Chuck. Chuck actually wrote an amazing script, but it broke all the rules that I had of do not use modern. It was set in like 2020, 2030, and it was like a political Democrat versus Republican, like very, very like news headlines. And I was like, this is a great story. It definitely fits the barn on what's going on. That's not what we asked for. And I explained it. He's like, so you want me to rewrite the fairy tale with Cthulhu? I was like, you're making it sound way more simpler, but yes, kind of a little bit. And then he did. I think he came up with a great story, but
yeah.
And even then, he was supposed to do 4 pages. He did 5. And Brian was like, is this okay? I was like, it's fine. So we got Goldilocks in this campaign. My wife is doing it with Ignacio. If you've never seen Ignacio's art, he's fantastic. We got James Burton back. He's doing one with Brett, who does Dust Buddy Mafia.
Yeah.
I would not expect this book from him. So we've got Fisherman's Wife, Ed Davis. I don't know where you guys' rest of your credits are. I'm going to have to get those. I don't know why they're not there. Same thing with you, Tom. Yours is missing too. We got the Ugly Duckling. We got The Boy Cried Wolf. If you don't know Stan you did The Reject, which was one of the best-selling titles for SourcePoint for a few years. If you've been around that long. We've got The Lion and the Mouse, which is really cool. By the way, like that was the other one. Lion and the Mouse and Sleeping Beauty were the one that got the most submissions. I have no idea why.
Again,
I approved Lion in the Mouth twice, so I had to fix that. I had to go, hey, I'm so sorry. Three Snake Leaves, we got that. That's Peter's gift. Peter does deep dives and goes.
Yeah. I enjoy lore, yes.
And then we've got Greg Elises. He did Apikyo, which I don't know anything about, but I did a deep dive. Or I didn't know anything about it. I do now. It's an African folklore that they use a lot in the African culture. Like a lot of people, he's like their John Henry. He's kind of in that vein of African folklore. So he's really, really cool. And we teamed him up with Michael Watson. So we had them created. And spoiler alert, this ties into his wonderful Inase storyline. So it does tie into his continuity, his stuff. So,
nice.
So if you're a fan of that, this is the next chapter. Which kudos on him, just sneaking that in on me. I'm like, what, you son of a... but again, that's another example of where doing it like this, that doesn't make me mad per se. Not a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
because you guys, I'm sure you guys know this. I got when you guys signed the contract, I get rights to this, but you guys also have rights. You guys can do whatever you want. If you want to, if Nando, you want to separate it from this and do it as like a stretchable digital, or you wanted to do a printing to have like an ash can, you're more than welcome. And without the continuity, I think more of these will be used.
Yeah.
So, all right. Next, we got Billy Goat Gruff. We've got the Juniper Tree. It's going to be cool. We've got the Tortoise and the Hare. This was another one. He sent me a modern whole crazy thing, and I had to go, no. Elf and the Shoemaker, which is going to be cool. We've got Puss in Boots. Got the Bridegroom. We've got the Owl, and we got the Pied Piper. You've known Gambit for a long time, Peter. When did he just leveled up? Like
yeah,
2
he
months.
really did. Yeah,
like 2024, he was just like, I'm done playing. I'm going to show you how good of an artist I am.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of stuff because he's been doing stuff off to the side with Seb too, and I've seen some of that here and there because Seb's working with Emily as well. And yeah, it's like, wow, wait, hold up, did things get that slow at the tattoo shop?
Yeah, no, it's really good. So yeah, we've got all sorts of cool things. We've got all the physicals come with the digitals. We've got you can buy the old chapters if you want to get some of those. We've got some really cool collector's boxes with some bookmarks. Did you notice that your bookmark is in here? That there's a bookmark for Little Red Riding Hood?
I did. I was like, man, there it is again.
It's everywhere.
Very cool. Very cool.
And then we've got the original art. So, but yeah, we've got some really cool stuff. This campaign is really cool. And we brought all the old stuff back. We've got all the old bookmarks, got the t-shirts, we've got the villain set from Bookmark. And then we're going to do a cool signing like this that if you're in Florida, you can come to. If you're not in Florida, you also can come, but it's a real long drive for just an evening with us.
But it's fun. We always have fun with them.
All my campaigns are there. But that is it. Wow, look at us. We're killing it. We're on our road to 8,000. Wow. And 4 more backers, guys. I'm going to share this out. 4 more backers, and we can get to 150. I'm going to give tons of digital rewards. And, we're going to promote everyone's campaigns. And you said yours, Neander, did you say your stuff is launching soon or no? No, that's Tom. Launching soon.
Yeah, it'll be Tom launching. I think he said tomorrow or tonight, maybe.
Yep. No later than tomorrow. I know that.
Are you building the Kickstarter, or you just need to hit the button?
Just need to hit the button now. Yep.
Okay.
You should have a notify then.
Oh crap.
We can do the notify. Yeah, we'll get that up. We'll make sure that's.
I'll put that. Where the hell did I go? There I am.
So, all right. So we're going to take a break from this. Give you guys a minute to get the 4 more backers that we need. We're going to take a break and look at what we got over here. We're going to look at Brian's campaign. Brian just finished a campaign, and he's like, I'm not done. I need to catch up. I'm going to be in your anthology real quick, and then I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah. I foolishly waited 1 week and then just launched another one without much fanfare or planning. I mean, I built the page, obviously, but I had this book done, and I was like, I'm just going to throw it out there and see what I can catch with it. It's struggling to find its audience. I'm trying to get it in front of some eyes, but I'm still fairly new to Kickstarter. I'm fairly new to this process, and my last books were horror books, and I think there's just a really hungry horror audience, so it was an easier sell for me.
Ooh, wow. I could have a whole conversation about that.
Agree to disagree. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I hope you're right. I have not found that. And I had my first big Kickstarter whiff, like massive fail several months ago. So I'm still kind of licking my wounds over that. But it was horror. And I was like, everything I had studied was like, this is it. This is my coming out party. This is going to be great.
The zeitgeist. Yeah.
I don't know. I hit my targets 2 times in a row, and I was like, okay, maybe I can do it again,
Yeah.
I set my sights a little bit lower. I was like, I only need to print so many. And but I am excited about the book. It's like I'm still trying to learn how to sell it,
We'll sell it to us. We're all here.
All right. So it's Power Rangers meets detective noir fiction. It's 15 years after the last alien is defeated. The giant robot they used is still rusting in the harbor, and imagine the Red Ranger is now a detective in the city, which is San Francisco, but I don't ever name it. It just is. And in this story, he ends up investigating one of his own ex-teammates. So you can see I've got this sort of paperback noir, fiction, and just really mashing it together with that Super Sentai. And yeah, I had this idea a long time ago. It was like I was going to call it something really, really stupid. But I just had this idea of this sort of like rundown guy who used to be basically a Power Ranger. And he ends up having to investigate his own teammates, and it sort of uncovers the past, and maybe they were, maybe there was some issue in the past of them understanding how. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. See, again, I'm learning to sell it. It's the first time I've actually said it out loud. But you can play the video if you want. I did do a little animation for it. I try to do them for all my animation, my Kickstarters. So
let's check it out.
All right.
Oh, it's fun.
Yeah, and we're on our way. We'll get there. I think we'll get there. I'm doing a bunch of these shows, and hopefully, hopefully we can find its audience. A lot of people seem to really like it. The ones that are into it are definitely into it. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, Brian, I'm a huge. I mean, I'm a. That's my generation. Like Power Rangers growing up and stuff. So like I think that's a really smart mashup. Like that is a really cool idea because it's like you can imagine like after a series was over, like what these characters would be doing, and like after they're done being Power Rangers or whatever. So I think that's a really smart idea. Like
I wasn't even that big a fan of the Power Rangers. I was 12 or 13, I guess, when they came out. Yeah. But I had an ex-roommate I used to do comics with like 10, 12 years ago. We would go to conventions, and he was huge into Power Rangers, and he would draw Power Ranger art, and he knew a lot of those actors.
Yeah.
So I've actually like had lunch with like Jason David Frank, I've talked to some of the Austin St. John. I've like talked to these people before, and sort of through that I was like, wow, there's this really cool. And I kind of got into it a little bit. I started to rewatch little things. And then when my kid was like a young boy, I was like, let's start watching Power Rangers together. And then he did that until he got too cool, and now he's too cool. But yeah, so I've just been percolating in the back of my mind. I was like, I love noir. Let me mash it together. Yeah, okay, this is fun. I like the early 90s vibe of it is really what I was kind of going for.
Yeah.
I follow one of the Power Rangers on Instagram, and even though I'm not a Power Rangers fan, that was my brother, because I'm a little older, so it's not my generation. He was on the Three Ninjas. I don't know which one. I think he was red. I think he was red, like in season whatever the second group was. But he's awesome. Like he does a Power Rangers Academy in Utah, and he's really he's really, really cool.
Yeah, they've all been very nice. The ones that I got to meet back in the day, and I was like, all right.
You know, in Boom, you know what they've been doing with Power Rangers, the whole
Yeah.
comics line. I mean, that's been huge. Like that was
Yeah.
a huge resurgence for the property, and it got a lot of people like who have kind of like fallen off like back in. So,
Yeah, and I really like the Radiant series a lot, which is also a Sentai series. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
really-
Kyle
yeah.
Higgins, yeah,
Yeah.
his stuff. Cool guy.
I love that book, and then just it lost me all of a sudden. I don't know why. I like some of the spinoffs, but the main book I'm not into anymore. It's so weird.
Yeah.
But Radiant Black started out strong, and I mean, let's be honest, he changed the face of the ninja, the Power Rangers. I mean, it was not selling, and then he came on and did all this really good stuff. So.
Yeah, you can. He's a guy that really knows it. He really knows it. Like I'm very surface level, and I was like, I'm using the iconography, but I'm really telling a Norse story.
Yeah,
You know, and that's kind of the way. That's the kind of the way I approached it, because I can't go too deep, you know. But I can really. I can take this character. I could really talk about this character, explore this person, you know.
Yeah.
What's your definition of noir? Like when you say that, what not just like what is it, conjure, but like what's kind of your definition of that?
Mistakes coming to haunt you.
Nice.
and especially with people that outwardly seem noble, and how the way that they've behaved in the past or the things they've done in the past are always kind of turning against them in the present, you know. And like I never look at them like there's no straight heroes and there's no straight villains, and the things they might do are heroic or villainous, but it's always like it's all twisted, you know. And so, you know, I have a lot of fun with that.
Cool.
All right, we're gonna look at your campaign real quick, Tom. But this is the Power Ranger I'm talking about. Here's the Red Ranger. That's the guy.
Oh whoa!
I follow him on Instagram. He's really funny. You should follow him.
That's awesome.
Wow.
He's really funny. He's very how to say. He's very he talks about current events and really like makes you see it from a different point of view, and he's really funny.
And does martial arts, so that's cool.
Yeah, he was. I said 3 ninjas, but it's Surf Ninjas. He was on Surf Ninjas. Oh. He was one of the 2 kids.
Oh yeah.
All right, we got Omni-Humans, a dark urban fantasy novel.
Yeah, that's why I was asking Brian about the noir. I've been throwing that word around myself for this, and that gels, that rings, that's authentic and resonates. So I'm glad to hear that. So yeah, I think.
Well, what's your favorite noir movie? My favorite is Ace in the Hole. That's my favorite noir movie.
Would you some of the old like Orson Welles stuff? Would you count that as noir?
Oh,
yeah. I'm thinking. I want to say Third Man, maybe.
The Third Man, definitely, absolutely. It's also a great spy thriller.
Yeah,
it's definitely noir.
Yes, that I like because originally, as previously, I guess I thought of it as like just dark, quote unquote, and like that's a little vague though. And I keep looking for that more specific kind of definition. I like your definition a lot.
Yeah, it's all character based. It really is. I mean, there's an aesthetic to it, obviously.
Sure.
But
yeah. As someone who did crime, you know, I broke down 4 Dead Bodies, which is specifically crime. You know, a lot of people want to throw that word into your book, and especially mine, which I specifically went clean. Like it's a clean looking book on purpose. I did it clean. I should have gone noir. I should have followed the pattern that everyone who was successful was doing, but I was like, no, I got to be different.
I hear
but
that.
I love to throw.
I mean, my noir is like candy colored. You know, I'm like using like weird color highlights. Like I'm really not looking for shadows in it. You know, it's because I think it really is the character choices that makes the noir. It's not really the aesthetic. But teach their own.
Yeah, you need some trench coats, you know, like
I'll do it.
All right. So tell us about this one more time.
So this is basically the idea is we're living in a dark um, Marvel universe where you've got mutants. They're called omnihumans, or they call themselves omnihumans, but it's a dark Marvel universe. Very like I would compare it to Logan, for example. The difference between X-Men and Logan, kind of a very different. And that's, I mean, to me, that's noir. Like when I think of, at least in terms of Marvel movies, Logan, I think, fits that noir category. Just in it's grim, it's gritty, it's dark, it is character. Obviously, we've got some great action set pieces, which is cool, and I've got action set pieces in the novel as well. But it goes to some really super dark places, and I think. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, so we've got an ex-cop who works for the government and has taken an off-the-books job assassinating omnihumans who the government feels are a little bit too powerful for their own good, and then he comes to discover that he's been doing somebody's dirty work this whole time. So again, past coming to catch up with him and all that kind of thing, and he has to don the mantle of a heroic omnihuman who's actually doing some good in the world and try to finish up the work that guy was doing. So that's where that's headed. But again, just for clarity, again, if it's not clear on the page, this is a prose novel. It is not a comic.
So it has all those word things.
A lot of words. Yeah, sorry.
I've read about those on the internet. I'm not a huge fan, but I've read about it.
Understood. I understand.
How big is the novel going to be, Tom?
This one came in, I think we're at 330 pages or so. So it's a solid. It's a solid.
Yeah,
movie.
that's
yeah,
awesome.
For sure.
I write prose too. Do you work with an editor?
Sometimes. This one's been back and forth through a couple different people over the years. It's been a project that was released once and I didn't tell anybody about it. I was like, wow, that was dumb. So
sounds right.
Came back, did some more work on it, had some other people take a look at it, cleaned it up, and then put it back out as a Kickstarter where I think it belongs. Actually, I think it'll find its more of its audience here than just like throwing it out on Amazon or something like that.
Yeah.
Build the hopefully fan base.
I'm gonna watch how you do, because I've got several projects and I'm like, maybe one day I'll actually publish them too.
Oh, I think I am. I mean, since coming to Kickstarter 5 or 6 years ago now, I think it was. I'm an evangelist for the whole platform, and I think it's funny because the novelists that I know are still kind of gun shy about it. I'm like, you've got to get on board Kickstarter. Like, it ticks so many boxes. That it's ridiculous not to use it. And even I think my pledge or my goal here for this is like $600 or something like that. I think it'll fund. I think it'll do better than 600 with any luck. My other projects have so far, but I think it's the system is in place for prose, for novelists to use Kickstarter, and I don't think enough people are doing it yet. So I would totally encourage you to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Nice. All right, and last up. So that link is in the comments. So is Steel Victory. So make sure you guys do your best over there. And the last up we've got. I think I already have it shared. No, I don't. What happened? It's coming. It's coming. The one that says Man Child. He keeps telling me it's a super book, but
that's me. That's me, Man Child. Yeah. Right. So. We got issue 3 coming out. We're going to be launching this October 1st. It's going to be the 3rd issue. It's a 6-issue limited series. But if you're a fan of Silver Age comics, if you're a fan of kind of the Lee Kirby Ditko era, the Marvel Age of Comics, it's a love letter to that era. But it has a modern day spin where you're reading 2 stories simultaneously. You're also reading about this comic book nerd named Rufus Boston, and he hangs out with his friends at the comic book store, and they shoot the shit and all that fun stuff. And it's a commentary on fandom, commentary on kind of the pitfalls and the joys of being a fan, and kind of the roller coaster ride it is to be a fan of something. And so it's a celebration, but also a commentary on what we love about pop culture and all those kinds of things. And so while you're reading about his story, you're also reading this superhero Silver Age inspired story about the Monarch Crier, who is this Monarch Butterfly character. And that character there is Professor Pilgrim, and he is the arch villain of the Monarch Crier. And at the end of issue 2, we find out that Monarch Crier has been isolated on this island that Professor Pilgrim has taken control of, kind of his own Latveria kind of nation that he has. And he is all alone, isolated, and the Sadistic Six are coming after him in issue 3. And so we're introducing a whole new team of villains for the Monarch Crier to fight. You'll be able to see his rogues gallery. You know, every hero is only as good as their villain. And I've been revealing each villain throughout this year on my Substack and kind of getting people aware of, you know, what's going on. So I'm really excited to return to this story. I've been able to work with some amazing artists for the variant covers. I've been able to work with Tom Riley, who's doing, you know, Duke and G.I. Joe stuff over at Skybound. I've been able to work with Tony Harris, who did the 90s Starman series. I worked with Jim Rugg on issue 2 for a cover. And coming up with issue 3, I haven't announced it yet, but it is my dream artist, the artist I've always wanted to work with. He did. I'll do a little tease. He did my favorite Captain America run ever. So I'm excited to reveal that soon.
Nice. All right. So that, if you want to get notified when that launches in October, it is right there. Do you have a website for people that buy the 1 and 2 now, or no?
I do. Well, I have a Gumroad store, an online store,
Okay.
so people can purchase through there. I have both physical and digital available, and of course, I'll have all of the issues and the different variant covers available for the campaign. So I'm very excited to return to it. I'm working with Ben Morse on a gatefold cover that's going to be insane. I can't wait to share it. So
he's a great person to do that for this book and everything. He's
yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So that's so. If I'm not mistaken, 2025 is going to be huge for you. You're like wrapping up a lot of things, or like really expanding. Like you're wrapping up. Yeah. 2025 is like the big coming out moment, huh?
It is.
If I'm hearing everything right, I know I'm looking a year ahead, but it sounds like next year you're like, let's go.
Yeah. Well, it's really it's something else, because I was kind of planning for 2024 to be kind of that year, but you just never know how deadlines are going to be met or how things kind of roll. And as I've been, you know, working with all these different artists and trying to get all these projects lined up, it's really turned into where it is going to be 2025, and it's going to be something else, because you know, we got Seasons Volume 3, we got Man-Child, we got The Fabled Offering, and you know, some of these anthologies that I've been working on. So it's going to be really exciting. I mean, I'm excited for what's ahead for Foxhole Comics and what I'm doing.
Yeah, you and I are on a very similar path. This year has been a lot of like, all right, I got to wrap up some series, so I haven't like put a lot of new stuff. Fairy Tales is new, and then I've got one other new book, but a lot of it's been wrapping up stuff, not stuff that I love, Greatest Day Punk, and you know, I love all these books. They're some of my favorite books, but new stuff to the market. But after those wrap up years, those are the excitement's coming. So
yeah, speaking of noir, like that's been my new. I'm doing a post-apocalyptic noir book that
nice.
I'm really excited about. I think it's the best thing I've written, and I can't wait to share that soon. But yeah, there's a lot going on. It's the best time to be a comic book creator. I mean, there's really never been a better time.
But yeah, we are at 151, so we got to the 150 mark. Like I said when we left, you know, we needed 4 backers. We got 5, so thank you guys so much. We're going to be live again on Thursday for our normal Creators Hangout. I realized that we have not a huge amount of views tonight, and I think it's because they're wrestling fans, and I totally get it. So I'm a wrestling fan as well. They've got to be all watching wrestling.
Monday night.
It's Monday night after SummerSlam, or everyone's watching the Olympics. I don't know if it's curling. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's women's volleyball. So I don't know. But thank you guys for coming out. We have a lot more of these planned. We're going to invade a lot of stuff. Every Thursday, we're going to have Creator Hangouts. I think I'm going to be doing one on Saturday night as well. So you're going to see us a lot over the next 30 days promoting campaigns. We have a lot of guys. Thank you guys for all being part of this book. I know Peter knows this, but like this book means the world to me, and I'm so happy and I'm so blessed to expand the people who are part of it and the things that we're doing in it. So I'm glad to help you guys and get you guys to level up. I know you're really upset, Nando. I know you're really trying to get into the preview. You didn't make the preview, but the launch is here. The schedule on the campaign, it says January. I really think I'm gonna try to get these guys to you by Christmas. We have a great editing team. It should be really easy to do. It shouldn't be a problem. There's only 2 stories that aren't 100% done, and
That's great.
They're me and my wife because we're running the company and we don't have the deadlines that we throw on you guys. But they are being drawn by professionals, so we should be right on our way to get everything. But thank you guys. I'm going to go over the campaign one more time. If either any of you guys got to go, you guys can go. If you want to say goodbye, that's okay. Anybody got to go? Or you want to go through the campaign one more time?
Yep, I gotta put kids to bed. But thanks for having us, man. Appreciate it, Travis.
Thanks, Tom.
Good to hang out with you guys. Take care.
Peace, Tom.
Bye.
Take care.
And you can't leave, Brian. I got to talk to you about something.
Okay.
Same thing with you, Peter. All right, so this is the campaign. Got 3 covers. You got the hardcover. We've got the orange cone soft cover here, and we've got the standard edition. We also got a hidden cover that I don't talk about a lot over here on the side. Here, let me show you. It is a hidden cover. Look, there is a virgin. We have only 50 of those available. So you might want to get one of those if that's something you're into. But this is a really cool campaign. You get digital. We've got a big characters in here. We got Cinderella, Rumpelstiltskin, Snow White, and Red Riding Hood, Goldilocks, as well as some fan favorites like Billy Goat's Gruff and Ugly Duckling and Boy Who Cries Wolf. And, 3 snake leaves. Is that what you call it, Peter? I don't know what you're talking. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's literally what it translates out to is the 3 snake leaves with a dash.
Pied Piper, 3 Billy Goats Gruff, Juniper Tree, Tortoise and the Hare, Elves and Shoemaker, Puss in Boots, Pride and Groom the Owl. Lots of really cool stuff. Cheapest you can get in is $12 for the digital, but physical is $29. Get $35 for the B cover, $59 for the hardcover, and then you've got all these really cool options of complete collections. You can also buy all the individual books if you missed one as add-ons. We've got the box sets here, lots of cool stuff. We've got our metal magnets, metal bookmarks. Let me show you guys these if you've never backed our campaign. These metal bookmarks look cool. Here's a red set. Can't really flip that down. You can't really make it on, but did I just flip it upside? Yes. No.
Yeah.
All right. Cannot see them at all, but you can tell they're metal. But they're really cool, and these ones are going to all be purple. So there's that one that's really good. I think the green's easier to see on the screen. Neverland one. But yeah, so you can get those cool this year. We're going to do purple. We're going to do 4 per campaign because there's a lot more really cool characters in this. So that'll be a thing. You can get, like I said, you can get the old copies as well as if you've never backed an Orange Cone project because you've been living under a rock. We have all those. We have a huge add-on menu of all these Orange Cone books. So get some. Look, we've done a whole bunch of stuff. We have a good track record of sending out stuff and getting things to people. So that's that. Oh, we got another pledge. Look at that. I want to say goodnight. Thank you guys for supporting us. We will see you on Thursday. Back, share, do the stuff. After this right here, you can go to Cthulhu Invades CthulhuInvades.com and you can share it up. Not Oz. I mean, you probably can go to Oz, but it's not going to lead to this campaign. But Brian, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram at Brian Thomas Wolf. You could go to wolfcomics.net. I have a website there. You can link to my work.
Peter, where can they find you?
Pretty much nowhere. Although if you're looking for the next thing that I'll be involved in, you can go to potsandpanels.com. It's a new anthology that should be coming out hopefully in October to Kickstarter as well. So both me and my daughter Emily will be on that one.
Hey, I'm in that.
That's right, you are too. I'm pulling double duty on that one too. I've got a story in it and I'm helping with the editing team.
Nandor.
Yeah, you can find me on X Twitter at Nondor Fox and Facebook Nondor Fox Schaefer. Also Foxhole Comics on YouTube. I'm going to be rolling out some video essays here soon that I'm really excited about, and you can also subscribe to my newsletter, foxholecomics.substack.com. You get all of the sneak peeks, all of the updates, all the things that behind the scenes reveals and all that stuff first. So yeah, that's where I am. That's where I'm mostly busy.
Yes. And I normally send people to my Substack, but I'm not. I want you to go to CthulhuInvades.com. All I care about is Cthulhu until there's $23,000, which is a lot of money if you're not aware. So we need your help. We need your shares. We need your backs. So you guys can do that. That would be really appreciated. We got a really cool book here. So I will see you guys on Thursday. But if you're backing, we have tons of announcements to make. We haven't even shared all the stuff that we're going to do. So lots of surprises coming. Just to give a little hint of what's coming in this book is not normal pages. There's other things, and this will be added to the campaign. And I'll reveal what it is on Thursday. So come watch us on Thursday of what's in this book. It'll be a one-of-one campaign, but people are going to really want it. And we're going to do it for fairy tales as well. So it'll be really cool. So we'll have 2 pledges for it. One will be for fairy tales, one will be for Neverland, and they can do it. So it's going to be really cool. But what is it? What's in the book? Find out on Thursday. All right. Good night, guys.
Thank you.